We would have one day in that week when like the rich kids would pull up and just
From a young stand-up comedian quietly correcting Joe Rogan on a video game release date he'd gotten wrong by an entire generation, to one of the loudest podcasters on the internet reading Matt Rife's own arrogant quote back to him on tape and using it to logically prove him wrong. Here are 10 times Matt Rife caught a lying podcaster on the record. The Quake 2 correction. Starting with the smallest piece of evidence on the docket, Joe Rogan, the most powerful broadcaster on the planet, wants to deep dive into the history of online gaming. He turns to his producer Jamie and asks for footage of Quake 3 Arena. He's anchoring nostalgia. He's planting his veteran gamer credentials.
That's Quake 3 Arena, right? Quake Champions? Quake Champions. That's the one.
He's the witness on the stand testifying about his own life. And from across the table, the youngest guy in the room, the comedian who's been doing stand-up since 15, quietly cross-examines him. He doesn't argue, he doesn't escalate. He just goes, "They actually just remastered Quake 2, like a week ago, in HD 4K. Looks unreal." Rogan goes silent. Then Rogan corrects himself, on tape, on his own show. "Oh my God, it looks so good. This was the game I really started with, Quake 2. Witness reverses his own testimony. 12 seconds. The compilation has its baseline. The Xbox AI strikes. While Quake 2 was a soft cross on a factual detail, the next exhibit takes on Rogan's actual subject matter expertise. Same episode. Rogan is mid-rant about the wild west of the modern internet. Fake names, anonymous lobbies, people verbally destroying each other in game chats with no consequences. Standard Rogan sociology, booming, authoritative, the kind of monologue where the room is supposed to nod. And Matt, calmly, into the same microphone, submits new evidence into the record. They actually just made an announcement about that. That's going to change. You get something like 8 strikes. They have AI listening now. All those game chats are being recorded. Rogan stops his rant cold, visibly surprised, mutters, "Oh my God, good. The world's loudest authority on internet behavior just got fact-checked on internet behavior by the youngest person at the table, specifically, currently, with the news cycle of the actual week." The apology PR logic. Yet while Rogan at least listens to the evidence and reverses his testimony, the next podcast host on the stand argued back. Tana Mongeau, YouTuber turned podcaster, schooled in the influencer playbook of dropping a Notes app apology video every time the algorithm turns on you, sits across from Matt and pitches that exact philosophy. Drop the apology, show accountability, survive the cycle, standard YouTube PR doctrine. Matt, who came up doing stand-up at 15, does not accept the premise. He cross-examines it directly. You should never, ever apologize for a joke. The second you apologize, you're admitting fault to a mob that doesn't actually care about you. If the intention was comedy, there is zero reason to say sorry.
I let my anger, ego, and pride stop me from doing what was right. And in turn, I hurt and let down and made so many people feel unheard.
Tana, to her credit, concedes. She admits she respects the cockroach mentality of refusing to bend the knee. The influencer PR doctrine met the comedy industry doctrine on the record, and the comedy industry doctrine won the cross. The Schultz Netflix rewrite. But while Tana at least conceded after one round of cross-examination, the next testimony is from Rogan again. Same episode, same studio. And this time he's making a claim about a different comedian's career. Rogan tries to summarize Andrew Schultz's rise. Well, Schultz converted it into a Netflix show. Clean narrative, corporate validation, Hollywood distribution origin story, standard simplification, and from across the table, Matt rewrites the entire timeline. When he was first doing it, he was releasing a new bit every single week. He was like, well, if I can write 1 minute a week for a year, that's a brand new hour. Boom, 52 minutes. The whole machine of self-released, weekly, algorithmic grind comedy laid out in 2 sentences. Rogan abandons the Netflix point entirely and pivots to talking about how the pandemic generally opened doors. The youngest comic in the room just protected another comedian's actual hustle from being miscategorized on tape. The Pandering Narrative. Yet, while Schultz's Netflix story was a third-party correction, the next exhibit on the docket has Matt defending his own record. The Hollywood press corps had built a narrative, repeated across legacy press outlets and dozens of podcast appearances after his Netflix special.
Like, I hate this zero accountability on like humans part, right? It's like you choose to watch the video.
That Matt Rife had cynically engineered his early TikTok rise to pander to women, then cynically pivoted in his actual hour of material to alienate them. Cynical marketing pivot story, trade press headline, easy hot take, and every interviewer who walked into the press junket tried to corner him into admitting the manufactured demographic ploy. He did not admit it. He cross-examined the premise on the record. One thing I wanted to tackle in this special was showing people that, despite what you think about me online, I don't pander my career to women. I would argue is way more for guys. 5 seconds. The narrative the press had spent 3 months building, withdrawn for lack of evidence. The crowd work box. But while the press corps tried to dictate his demographic, Rogan tried to dictate his entire artistic identity. Same episode, same studio. Rogan implies, gently but firmly, that Matt Rife is just a crowd work comic, a TikTok phenomenon, an algorithmic novelty whose entire output fits in 15-second vertical clips. The widely held internet consensus, parroted by every comedy purist online, and Matt calmly impeaches the entire premise. Nobody really knows this because all my clips are about crowd work, but most of my jokes are stories. I don't know if I have a joke shorter than 3 minutes. That single sentence dismantles 3 years of internet comedy discourse. He's not a TikTok crowd work novelty. The crowd work clips are the marketing layer protecting an actual hour of 3-minute story jokes underneath. Rogan goes quiet, processing the contradiction of the entire internet consensus he'd just repeated. The witness redacted himself. The party math impeachment. While Rogan got cross-examined on Matt's identity, the next podcaster tries to perform a tall tale on a hot mic. Burt Kreischer, the shirtless, screaming machine mythology podcaster whose entire brand is built on superhuman alcohol consumption and impossible touring stories.
I got my period. I'm like, bitch, you promised!
Throws out impossible numbers, days awake, multiple arenas, beer counts that don't reconcile with basic chronology. Classic Burt. The room is supposed to laugh and let it slide. Instead, Matt does the math out loud. The numbers don't reconcile. The witness was, mathematically, drinking while he was asleep. The testimony impeached not on motive, on basic biology. Burt turns bright red, laughs so hard he wheezes for 30 seconds straight, and the camera holds on a man whose entire brand identity just got cross-examined back into reality by a young comic with a phone calculator. The machine, disassembled, mid-podcast, by chronology. The OnlyFans Revenue. Yet here's the structural twist. The cross-examiner is not invincible. Sometimes the prosecution gets caught with a bad number on the record. Same Rogan studio, same episode. Rogan and Matt are estimating the annual revenue of OnlyFans. Matt, normally the most clued-in guy on internet economics, throws out a confident number. I'm gonna say, a year? Yeah, 700 million. It sounds massive. The room treats it like a ceiling. And then, off camera, Rogan's producer Jamie, the bench's law clerk, quietly enters the actual figure into evidence. 2.5 billion. Matt freezes. Doesn't argue, doesn't deflect, doesn't save face. He just sits there as the number that's nearly 4 times bigger lands on the table. The cross-examiner gets cross-examined back. The kid who corrects Joe Rogan 5 times an episode just got corrected by Joe Rogan's producer. Hell of a humbling, and it's on tape. The Comedy Store mentor lie. But while the OnlyFans correction was Matt taking the L gracefully, the next podcaster on the stand was about to take an L he could not laugh through. Bobby Lee, longtime Comedy Store veteran.
I own Chang Williams, man.
The kind of older comic who likes to claim he saw the kid coming, sits across from Matt and starts performing a generosity story. The classic mentor narrative, the classic elder statesman framing. The implication that Bobby was watching out for Matt back in the early Comedy Store days. And Matt, who actually lived those years, hits back with hyper-specific facts. While Bobby was famously sleeping in until 4 in the afternoon and playing video games, Matt was standing on Sunset Boulevard in the freezing cold passing out flyers for 3 minutes of stage time. Don't pretend you were mentoring me. Bobby goes silent, crosses his arms, looks at his co-host for help. The mentor myth, withdrawn from the record, with prejudice. The jealousy trope reversal. Yet, while Bobby Lee took the L silently, the most architecturally beautiful exchange on this docket is the one where the prosecution becomes the defendant. Months earlier, back on the same Tana Mongeau podcast, in a moment of internet comic arrogance, Matt Rife had said on tape, "People only hate people they're jealous of." It got him roasted. It went viral. And months later, on the very same podcast, Tana does the cleanest cross-examination in this entire compilation. She doesn't yell, she doesn't ambush, she calmly plays Matt's quote back and enters one counter witness into evidence. I saw a top comment from a girl who said, "I hate my dad. I'm pretty sure I'm not jealous of him." To say that all hatred derives from jealousy is a crazy take. One example: hate of an abusive father, not jealousy. Matt's own logic, from his own previous appearance, used as the impeaching exhibit, cleanly, on tape, with no escape, proving that no matter how big the host, how rehearsed the narrative, or how loud the studio